Hey everybody, it's Jim here, and I'm wanting to talk a little bit about some problems I've had with the Zoom Stryder and kind of the resolution, and I'm going to do the repair for the part I got. The part, not the repart. I guess it's kind of repart. Anyway, I'm going to put on the part I got from Zoom. So I'm here in my fabulous workshop, which is a corner of my garage. Probably, obviously. So customer service, I'll link back to my other video. I don't know where those things go, but somewhere. For the review, the detailed review of the Zoom Stryder. One of the things I had initially was some issues with customer service, responsiveness, and that kind of came through at the same time with this problem I had. So I'm just going to go through the dates and kind of what I went through, and so you kind of know. It's just something to add into your repertoire of, like, when you're trying to figure out what kind of, it's because they're expensive, so if you want to spend some money on them, it's good to have more information. So on September 9th, I sent a request to customer service for Zoom, and so like a little bit, one back and forth, and then on the 14th of September, I got their first suggestion. And just to, I'm going to give a brief issue of the problem I had. And if I have some pictures I took, and I'll put them up in the video if they look decent enough to show. It was hard to, and the one thing I will say for Zoom is this was a hard thing to visually represent in pictures. So I don't know if you noticed, but I just pulled off, I had Velcro holding this, and you notice there's no rear fender on there. So this is a rear fender mechanism. This is the hook, it clips in there to hold it down. So what was happening, and I'll see if I can turn the scooter and you can see it. I'm looking at the camera at the same time. So the fender usually goes like this. It was over to the side, and then so what the problem was is I couldn't latch it in, and also the rear brake wasn't actuating. The first suggestion from Zoom on September 14th was to simply take and pull, like that the whole arm was bent, and I'm like, no, this is. So I sent back, no, this is in line with the tire, so that's obviously not the problem. And it was very obvious to me in the pictures that this was just a skew. So then on 9/16, I got another email from them after responding to that. 9/16, September 16th, that I for another fix option, and that one was also wrong, and that one was an adjustment to the fender, and it was really about this little tail light connection, and that one didn't work at all. So then between the, looks like I wrote down, between the 19th and 25th, I had sent 3 emails with no response, and then on the 26th. I got an email from them, and I'd sent a little video of me trying to show this better. And again, I'll see if I can put that on the video, this video, if it makes sense. And then on the 26th day, I got an email from them that they said they would send me a new fender. And then it took almost 2 weeks from that point. On October 9th, I got the new fender. So here is the new fender. This is basically the support that goes within this more decorative piece of the fender. And this is the one that came off. And I'll put this up to the camera. You can see it just snapped. And I didn't know that until I got the scooter rear suspension pulled apart, that was actually what had happened. The interesting thing on the replacement, it might be a little bit hard to tell, but to me it looks like they, especially at this support juncture, it's actually pretty, I think it's fairly obvious, they beefed up that connection. So my sense is they probably had an issue with this and they didn't say anything about it. And that's one thing maybe you get from ordering a scooter from another country, is their recall requirements probably are different than if it was a US made. You know, luckily this wasn't a steering column failure or something that could have really injured me. This was just the rear brake, which is not, honestly, I mean, even though in the tests, when I did the detailed braking tests, using the scuffer brake did decrease the brake distance. it's a little bit hard to think to do in the moment. So I've been riding it with this, using a little piece of Velcro and without a rear brake. And you just got to be aware that you're going to have to give yourself extra time to stop. So anyway, here's this part. I'm going to put it on. I'll probably forward that or do some stop motion or something. I don't really know how long it's going to take. There were no instructions, so literally this came in a padded envelope. While I had the scooter, my caulking just fell. I guess I should, but I'm going to take the opportunity while I have this part to caulk a few of the intersection points of wires in the frame, especially on the bottom of it. So anyway, you'll see me working. Be a little faster if I had one of those nice little part tool, you know, individual tools. I'm not that fancy. And I guess I'm kind of cheap too, so. So there's an adjustment right there. So that would allow you to, I think allow you to tighten up the tension on this rear shock if you're a heavy rider, which is cool. I should have noted that before, but I had no reason to take this apart. All right, now I'm gonna see if I can figure out this damn spring. All right, we're gonna try to do it. Technical difficulties. I'm technically difficult, I guess. So what I'm having trouble doing is this hook here hooks around the base of the fender. I'm having a hard time getting this portion under tension into the right spot, because when it's under tension then it turns and that barrel nut is hard to get through there. Oh, looks like that might be it. Hope that gives you a little insight, you know, and maybe gives you an insight into Zoom's customer service. I think for a pretty good product, especially at the previous price point, the new price point, I don't think it's quite as, it's not as competitive. You know, it was less expensive enough that it made up for the potential issues I saw with customer service and some other things. At the new price point for the Zoom Stryder EX, I don't know if that's still the case, because it's pretty much in, you know, it went up $150 from when I bought this. So that's a pretty big jump for, you know, what you're getting and that potential issue. And luckily my scooter still worked. I could see a lot of other scenarios where if you were using the scooter as a pretty main source of transportation, you're pretty much stuck without this transportation device waiting for customer service to respond. So anyway, I hope this feedback is helpful. I'll be doing some more reviews, so look out for those, comparing to some other scooters and some other bike reviews. See you soon. Thanks.